What's up? We
Exciting.
have Mesa and Kate. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce any of your last names. But thank you for being on the show. Fresh off tour stop to WFP. Kate, girl, fresh off head to head.
Yeah.
Love you.
Oh, so close.
So close.
God, that was dire. It was so amazing.
Fun. It was a lot of fun. I was so nervous because I don't do individual competitions. I only do team. Obviously, I work out at the gym like by myself every single day, but there's just something different about putting yourself out there individually. And after I said yes, and I was like, is this my individual debut? Like online? This is crazy.
For sure.
It was very cool. It was so fun to watch. You and Claire were amazing. Kudos to you. I would never freaking do it. I would only do it against my wife. Like there's no way.
Are you recovered finally?
I was pretty sore yesterday and still a little sore today. My lower back was lit up. I also did a few workouts before that too that day, which probably wasn't the smartest, but you don't know what you're doing before you go into it. So I'm like, well, maybe it's only going to be a couple minutes, and I'll just get a full workout in this morning. So I learned my lesson.
Jake, it's not happening. It's just not happening.
No,
no,
absolutely not.
Listen,
I
put myself on display for the Open. That was a big enough display for me to put myself out there for the Open. But I remember doing that once.
And I only put myself on display for my wife. Like that's not like now.
I remember doing that workout when it was in the Open, and it was so bad. And that was the first one because Garrett and I usually would just do one and done. That was the first one that we're like, oh, we could probably finish this if we change it. And so we tried it 2 days later and I did worse. And so I didn't even, my coach is like, girl, you're not going to get there. So don't even try. Stop. Yeah. How did you do? Is it Mesa or Mesa?
Mesa, like May the Monza.
Okay.
And when was it? 2020. I didn't finish. I think I could probably finish it now, but I literally have a favorited video of me like rolling on the floor, dying after that workout with my friends, like laughing at me because it was so bad. It's so bad.
So bad. Yeah. It was the only workout that the two of us tried twice ever in our entire existence in CrossFit. We definitely were like, no, we can do this again and we'll get a better score on the second time a day later than we did it the first time. Thinking that we actually
Why do we do that? Like we think that a day later we're gonna be fitter.
It's right.
I don't know. I don't know why we think that and why we believe that. And it was really cool because at the time our coach was like, yeah, I think you guys could do it. So let's do it. And then we both started and he was like, no, I don't think we should continue. So
it was like round 4. It was like round 4. You're like, you're not on pace. And I was like, okay.
But
and
not
we're
by
done.
like 20 seconds. He's like, you're like almost a minute behind. I was like, okay, that's cool. I don't need to prove anything else. It's all good.
I was like yelling so loud at my screen that one of my other coaches in my gym started filming me watching Kate and then like sent it to me after. I was like, you're literally one fucking burpee behind, like go faster.
You guys would literally just go back and forth and it was amazing.
Like one burpee, one snap,
it was like you on the barbell and Claire on the burpees and it just came down to the last round. It was so cool. So
I went back and watched it once the live chat was up and I was getting hyped. I already knew what happened, but I saw everybody saying, go, go, go. And I was like, wait, am I going to make it?
You were, and it was awesome because you would walk over and you would swipe and then your rest was like the chalk and you could see yourself like, fuck, what the hell am I doing? What did I sign up for? And Claire would finish her snatch and then drop down onto
like all fours.
And I was like, okay, is she going to go? And she would rest there and then she would start to go. But it was like, you guys were literally rep for rep. Even the pacing, even the breaks were so close to each other. That's why, because I didn't see it when it was live because I was at work. And so Garrett was like, I'm not going to tell you who won.
Anything.
You have to go watch it like now because it was so close. So I'm watching and I was like, oh shit, who is going to win? And then when it was one burpee, I'm like, Kate has to be so pissed because she was right there.
That is like a nightmare of a workout for me. My lower back always blows up on light power snatches or power cleans, and then I'm not good at burpees. So when I saw 100, I was like, oh no. So I was thrilled that I was only behind by 1. I was like, if I am on round 7 and she finishes.
Yeah.
You were like, cut the screen.
Keep you going? Will they just keep watching you for like 3 more rounds?
The best for me was Mesa and CJ in the chat.
Yeah, I was losing it. I was like, give her a max clean at the end.
What are you doing? And CJ was like, oh my God, Claire, pick up the fucking bar. Yeah. What are we doing? And like Mesa's like, stop talking. Yeah. And go. And
I was so mad.
It was so good, dude.
But I would have loved to have like video of Mesa like yelling at the screen and CJ yelling at the screen and putting those next to you. Like, oh my God, it would have been so good to see you guys just screaming at them.
It would have been like kind of embarrassing, but
no, it would have been cool though.
Kind of. But that's what we do when we watch our friends or our partners or whatever. Like there was one workout in the open where literally when Garrett finished, she was like, I need you to go away. Because I was yelling at her so much. And there were points that I was like this close to her. I was like, come on, one more rep. And she finished. She looked at me. She's like, you need to go over there, like away from me right now. And I will come find you in a couple of minutes.
It was it was toes to bar. And I'm a big girl. Like toes to bar is not my like.
Get it.
Oh,
apparently.
Kate. Go ahead. Go, Mesa, go. Apparently what?
Is she for?
Apparently they have, I might be next on this show sometime soon.
There you go.
Oh, let's go, girl. Let's get it. I'm excited.
Me and Kate are like the opposite athletes.
Me and my wife.
Yeah.
Hey, how did you guys meet? You're not lesbian. No, they're not lesbians, guys. Don't do that. They're not lesbians.
No.
People want us to be. No, I joke about being, but no.
Hold on. Wait. Before you do that, let's hold on. Let me finish this up before it just was too funny for me not to say it. But Kate, how tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Yes.
Okay.
I am also 5'11".
Yeah.
We were talking about it and we were like, she's going to tell me she's like 5'7" and we're going to be sad because Annie Thorsdottir is like so tall in CrossFit, but isn't she only like 5'7" or 5'8"?
Yeah, she's not like, I mean, she's tall for, I guess, everybody else but us.
Yeah.
But I forget how tall I am until like me and Mesa were just together in Arizona. And then we were standing really next to each other and I'm towering over her. And I was like, oh, I am really tall.
It was the best because like one of my friends messaged me and they're like, you and Kate's height difference is like exactly how I pictured it. You look like her child, like going to school with my backpack.
Let me just shout out and then we'll get to it. Clydesdale. Oh, shoot. Sorry, dude. Clydesdale Media, Scott, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. You've been fire lately. Love watching you. Have been a long time subscriber. So thanks, bro. Appreciate it. And oh God, everybody's in here. Y'all,
hi guys.
Y'all just in here.
Hanging out.
Joseph, you are not 5'11", bro.
That is false.
That would be false.
That is false.
We established this last night that you are not tall enough to ride this ride. So
yeah, Meg, you are 5'7", aren't you?
Yeah, Meg's tall.
Oh, but she looks pretty tall because that's the three of us. She looks pretty tall.
Yeah,
But I tend to slouch when I take pictures. Kate, do you do that too? And you don't realize you're doing it?
Yes, small. Yeah.
In the like photos we took, there's like one where she's like slouched and I'm up on my toes and we're still not close. Like it's not even.
How'd you guys meet? That's where Garrett was.
That's where we were going. Yeah.
At WFP 1, actually. So not that long ago. We were staying in the same
You were doing podcasts before that? You weren't doing podcasts together before WFP? Wait.
We didn't even know each other. We were random roommates assigned at WFP.
This is kind of like the U-Haul thing, but like for our podcast.
Yeah, I mean, it is a U-Haul. I mean, you kind of moved in together. You started a show together. Yeah. You're best friends now. You're on each other's phone all the time. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty U-Haul.
Yeah,
that's very U-Haul. So you meet at the tour stop 1, and then all of a sudden y'all are podcast wives?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were like sitting in the like cafeteria area where you could like get food at WFP, and we were just like yapping about what was happening. And I was like, this kind of sounds like a podcast. And then it became a podcast.
Oh my God. That was like high school for me. And then, we were like married. That's amazing. That's so awesome.
I think we both kept, like, we brought it up multiple times. We're like, oh, this could be a podcast. And I think we were like feeling each other out because like I really wanted to do something like that and she really wanted to, but neither of us were sure because we didn't know each other well enough to be like, are you serious about this? And then eventually we're like, let's do it. Full send. So yeah, we have not known each other except for a couple months.
That's so accurate. PC matchmaker.
We'll come back to that, but yeah, I proposed to her in like January of 2012, and then we were married. No,
you proposed. Oh yeah, when we got together was
stop it.
Yeah,
don't even make it seem like I'm the butch that doesn't know when our anniversary is, because that's terrible.
Well, 13 years later, you should know.
It's on my finger, dude. Like, and then we were married 8 months later. So you guys did it quicker than us.
Yeah.
Congratulations. I love this relationship. It's fire.
You guys are officially more lesbians
than us.
These comments are wild.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
First interactions with each other. Was there any like uncertainty? Was there any like, oh, are we gonna like the same things? And then
this is literally a relationship.
We're on a dating show right now.
Our first episode, everyone was like, "Is this a dating show?" I think we're coming full circle. Kate, do you want to go first?
She's gonna take a drink and knock him.
I think. Because we were working, like, we weren't all working for Be Friendly, but we're with the Be Friendly umbrella, right?
Yeah, that's good.
I'm offended. I'm offended.
Oh, man.
Okay, sorry, Kate. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Ed.
Now I'm distracted.
What is happening? Okay.
What was like? Okay, so the first time we like got in the car together because PC was driving and they had already had like a whole day together, and I had gotten in the next day, I think, and we were just like chatting in the car about CrossFit, and then I was like, me and my friends used to play this game, ugly hot, hot ugly, and then we started playing it in the car, and I was like, oh, like we're really vibing already. It was just like off the bat, there was a connection, and I was like, I think we're gonna be friends. And then all weekend it just kept getting better. So,
yep, that was camp for me. Sounds great. I love it. That's my favorite thing.
Did you use the word connection intentionally because it's like the Yeah, I think I'm someone who can just like talk to a brick wall. I can talk to anybody. It was also my first time. Like having, like I had met PC before at Wadapalooza, but we had like kind of been like passing, talked really minimally. So I spent most of the day talking to PC, getting to know him, driving around to activations, and I got so car sick because he's the worst driver of all time. And then Kate got in the car, and I was like, okay, just like keep it together. Don't throw up. You don't know these people. Be nice. And then she was like, hot, ugly, ugly, hot. I was like, okay, I can hang with this. Like hold it together. And then, yeah, I think it was just like, we have a lot of the same interests. We have a really similar job, similar personalities. So
how did PC like matchmake you and get you onto the podcast together and be like, hey,
we actually approached them, right?
Yeah, we were already talking about it, and me and PC have known each other for like a decade now. And somehow it came up that we were thinking about it, and they're like, why don't you guys just do it on our channel? And we just kind of talked it over, and they've given us a lot of really good opportunities with going to different events and kind of getting exposure. So they've been really good to us. So we decided to go under them.
Is the WFP, are those the only events you guys have gone to, or have you gone to other events or plan to go to other events like Wadapalooza, SoCal, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we both were at Wadapalooza, not together, did not know each other.
Oh, you weren't dating yet? That's awesome.
It's really weird because both PC and Brian were like, you know, Kate, you met her at Wadapalooza. And I was like, I didn't meet this girl. And they're like, you definitely met her. Then they sent me her Instagram. I was like, I definitely did not meet her. And then, but we are both going to SoCal. Announced it like just today.
Yes.
Cool.
We're going to be there. Yeah, we'll be with
that cute little height difference.
Forever pictures.
No, we're really excited because at WFP we do different things. Like I volunteer for WFP and Mesa's working for Be Friendly. So like we're there together and we stay together, but doing different things. This is the first time that we'll be together for our podcast. And then the boys are going to go as well, PC and Brian. So all four of us will get to, we'll be pals the whole weekend in California.
Are you doing a podcast? Oh, sorry, but are you doing a podcast at the venue, like afterwards on site? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think the plan is a podcast. We're still working on logistics and stuff, but we'll do athlete interviews like what Mesa does, like the Mesa Minute or whatever it is that they term that. So we'll do that kind of stuff, engage with athletes, and we'll just kind of see what happens. But working on logistics still, but we're pumped. We're really excited. This is like exactly what we dreamed of when we first met and talking about doing a podcast.
Oh, this is going to be a whole hour of fun.
And it's like already happening in such a short amount of time. When we started talking about SoCal, we were like, this is crazy that we may get an opportunity like that. So we're pumped.
Of how fast it's happened.
Yeah.
It's happened really fast for you guys. Yeah. Did you imagine that it would happen this fast?
No. I don't think so.
She says no, and I would say yes, because like it does seem fast in the time that we started the podcast, but I feel like we've both been in this world for so long prior to that it was just like right place, right person, right time, things lined up. Wow, this is a dating show. I can't now. Pause about everything. Someone like said engagement photo, and it's so funny because do you know Imam Photo? He's a great photographer, but he was at WFP and at the X Endurance party we went to, and he took those photos for us just at the venue to get some photos. And there was one where he was like, just like look at each other and start laughing. And he like put it in black and white. And I was like, yeah, these are engagement photos. Like we can't post these.
It does kind of look like that.
Hold on. Kenneth, KDO, I love you. Yeah. Look at my excitement and that smile. This is every show. I look like this literally.
Let us be the special ones. You're so excited about us. It's fine.
I've also too, in my defense, like Tyler just proposed not to me, but proposed a new segment of like something gay, and I was just like, and so this is just funny because this kind of happens to be it, but but this is me every show, Kenneth. Calm down. I'm always, this is my face every single show. You just got back from WFP Tour Stop 2. You guys were having podcasts on the floor. That's your first time having podcasts on the floor. How crazy and nerve-wracking was that? Because I would say, before you answer, I would say you were talking to a lot of people that have been in the space for a very long time, know all of the stories of every player in the game and every player in the media space and every player everywhere. And you are talking to them and it's crazy.
Mesa does all the talking to the athletes. So when she like does those interviews, that is all her. So, and I think that's scarier than anything else, which is why she does it. I don't think it was that scary. You just have to like fake it till you make it sometimes, you know, especially here. Like sometimes you don't always know what you're doing or you're nervous and you just kind of have to put yourself out there or else you're always going to be scared. Like the first time I went on one of the Be Friendly podcasts, I was like, what do you mean I'm going to be ranking these athletes? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't deserve to be here, you know, like, but I'm just like, well, if I want to do something in this space, I'm going to have to start somewhere. So I'm just like going to do my best and whatever happens, happens. And that's kind of how I look at everything anyway. Just full send. And if it goes horribly,
God, girl,
I guess.
Good for you. Good for later. You. You're a beast.
I think like, so that was my second time doing the athlete interviews. It was definitely better this time from a nerd perspective because almost all of them remembered who I was. So they're like, oh, I know who you are. You're not like some random girl being like, talk to me. And I think that just is like, they know last time I didn't ask them anything crazy or disrespectful. So they were like a lot more comfortable coming over for interviews. So at WFP1, Kate her job was to like pull people for me. So I would be like, hey, grab so-and-so. And then she would be like, will you interview with Mesa? So this time there was not that person. So I had to just ask them and interview them. So that was a little more nerve-wracking. But I feel like once you do one or two, it's fine. I think maybe like, Kate, I think the X Endurance thing was probably scarier than anything else.
Yeah, doing like a live podcast at an event where I guess where the like Justin Medeiros and all of those people are there just watching. It's different online because you can't see everybody in the chat, right? Like you can just see whoever you're talking to. But I guess the event was a little scarier. But like once you start, you're just like, well, you know, we're gonna do it. You know, we've done this a million times. It's just in a different setting. So we're just gonna do what we always do and hope for the best. So
and then like the Buttery Bros coming on was just like they're so normal and cool and easy to talk to. I was like, this is actually just like having a bro conversation. So that felt, I did not think they were going to come on. They walked out and I was like, Heber, want to join? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, this is happening right now. Got it. Cool.
I have never found that though. I've never found where anybody that you asked to come on, as long as they see your message, has said no. Like I feel like the CrossFit space, or if you want to call it the fitness space, I feel like everybody in it is pretty like if they see your message and they can help you in any way, shape, or form, whether it's with your media as athletes or as other media or as, they will help you. Like they will go out of their way to help you. And that's kind of like the fire part of this space is just, hey, we'll share your shit. Like we'll come on my podcast. I'll come on your podcast. We'll like collaborate. The athletes will come on. Like I just find it so, it's the people that you think aren't cool kind of are.
Yeah. And I think it's refreshing that like the Buttery Bros, I would say, are probably the biggest media in the space, or if not one of the biggest media.
Of course.
And in the grand scheme of things, were no one. And they were just like without hesitation. Like, yeah, we'll come chat with you for a solid like 30 plus minutes about just normal stuff. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And once you realize that they're just people, it's very helpful. And that was something that, you know, I give kudos to Bill Grundler for. He was one of the ones, like when he first came on, it was like, oh my God, we get to talk to all these people that we've heard for so long and we're fans of theirs. And, you know, he was one of the first ones that said, yes, he would come on and chat with us. And, you know, they pop on the screen. I mean, obviously in person is a little bit different, but they pop on the screen. It's like, holy shit. And he's like, okay, enough of that. Like you don't get to be fangirling anymore. Yeah. Like we're just people. Mm-hmm. And when he said that to me, like, I don't get nervous now as much or even at all when we have people come on. It's more like, holy shit, this is really cool. And I think the more we realize that they're just people just like us, it doesn't take away that we're fans of theirs, but it's like, oh, he's just a person that is really cool, you know? So I think that's been helpful for me with talking to all of the people that we've met.
Yeah, go ahead, Kate.
I was just going to say, like, I still to this day will not ask somebody to like take a photo. I've been to so many live events and, you know, they're like out walking around the athletes and you're like, oh, there's Ricky. And I'm like, I will not, because I don't want to bother them. And that's my thing. Like they're either getting ready to compete or, you know, in that mindset. And I'm like, I just want to let them live and do their thing. But as a host of the podcast as well, now that is kind of our job, time and place, obviously, but it's a lot scarier, I think, to talk to them maybe in real life as normal people than if they come on the podcast. I'm like, oh, this is what we both agreed to do, so we're here for the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yes. I do not have that thought process. It's just scary every single time.
Okay.
I don't. It's scary to DM people, and it's scary to ask them for a photograph. Like, and just for me, Colleen's fine. Like she's good. She'll whatever. I'm a mess.
Well, the first time we met Colton or whatever was Gabe from Paper Street. It's one of his athletes. He just randomly was like, hey, he's going to be in Jersey. Come hang out. And we were like, okay, sure. It's a couple hour drive for us. And we got there and, you know, we do have our kid. So we kind of are like, go say hi, go ask for a picture first, you know, sometimes.
You have a buffer. Yeah,
exactly. And then he like signed a card and whatever. So then after he was done in the heats that he was in, he now knew who I was because Gabe introduced us. So he would come over to me. And then all of a sudden I find myself being like, hey, dude, you almost fucked up on the muscle ups and someone almost beat you. Like, how does that feel? And I don't know what happens, but it's almost like,
I died.
He's just human. You know?
I died 8,000 deaths when she asked him that. I was dead.
I was like, you almost shit the bed, man. You almost lost it. He just kind of looks at me like, fuck you. Shut up.
Yeah. I was like, okay, we're never going to have a podcast ever again. It's just over now. Like, that's fine.
That's amazing. When we were like we pulled up to the X Endurance launch party was like the day before athlete check-in. And so we pulled up and we're sitting in the car and we didn't like really have any information. It was like, you're going to go do this live podcast, find Jason St. Clair. He owns X Endurance, have fun. Like that was basically it. So we're like sitting in the car, we're like getting our stuff together. And Kate looks at me and she said, so like, you're going to do the Mesa thing, right? And I was like talk? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. So I just walked in and I was like, hi, we're meeting Kate. And I was like, because I'm always comfortable talking to anybody. But yeah, on the last day I got Travis, Noah, and Chandler all came off the floor at once. And I was like, can I get the three of you for an interview? And Travis came off first and he was standing and he was like, yeah, I'll wait. And there was like a bunch of kids getting autographs from Chandler and Noah. And they were like so excited. And I was telling Travis, there was like a 5 or 6 year old boy who walked up to the railing there, where the athletes were coming out. And when Roman came out, he's like, Roman, I came for you. And Roman went up and like fist bump him. And he looked like he was going to cry. Like he was so happy. And Travis was like, I don't get it. Like, we're just normal people. And I was like, yeah, but you have to understand, like, you're normal people who are doing really, really cool things. And that kid's like never going to forget that day. And so he's like, okay, fine. I will let them sign their autographs. And we were just like chatting and it was like, I get it. You're normal. But then you step on the floor and it's like, you're doing very superhuman things. But then they come off and they're just people.
And it was really cool like that to watch our kid be able to do that. You know what I mean? He has done it with pretty much like, he's asked for everybody's autograph all over the place with the little wad zombie baseball cards and and he loves it. And it's a great, he loves to go. We're going to go to Crash again because he knows Crash and he wants to go to Crash. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to Crash. All right, fine. We can do it. So let's go. And yeah, they do. And I think that's why this thing is so polarizing right now. I think that's why people care about it so much right now, is because we've all been following it for a very long time. And even if you haven't been following it for a very long time, if you're in it, you drank the Kool-Aid and you're in it. So we were talking about it last night with Souza, and I proposed this thought that, you know, the 10% of people that are seriously mad at HQ, right? They don't like Dave. They're mad at HQ. They, whatever. They are always going to ride for the WFP. Like they're going to, that's it. That's going to be their diehard group. There's like a 10, 15% of people that we all diehard CrossFit. And no matter what, we ride for Dave and we ride for HQ and we ride for, like, that's just what it is. Those people are probably never going to change. Right. And it's the like 60, 75% in the middle that are like, hey, I don't even know what's happening. I just like watching this. I like watching Dallin over here. I like watching Dallin over there. I like watching Colton over here. I like watching Colton over there. I don't give a shit. I don't know what the politics are. So I'm just here.
Yep.
My question is can they not coexist? Like, I hate the Dallas Cowboys. I'm never going to like Jerry Jones. Never going to like whatever. I'm never going to root for them. If some other, I just don't want them to win the Super Bowl. I don't care what else they do. Is that what it's always going to be for this? Like, is there always going to be a group of people that is going to look at the CrossFit Games like, I hope the CrossFit Games goes away, or the CrossFit Games, I hope the WFP goes away? Or is the way that 75, 80% of people can just be like, oh, it's cool to have both?
I think we kind of talked about this on our show a little bit on Thursday.
Oh, with Wooly?
Yeah.
Amazing episode, by the way.
Thank you.
Fire episode.
Thank you. I think the more exposure the more time that's passed after the 2024 games, right? I think they're going to maybe gain a few people back onto CrossFit side. And I think the more WFP exposure that we get, maybe we'll have some more people come around as well. Like, I think on both ends, it will lessen a little bit, like the extreme of it. But I think they can both coexist, but I think it's just going to look very different for both of them. Like, I don't think WFP is going to look like the CrossFit Games, and I think that's probably how it should be. Like, we have two separate things. I don't know what that looks like, but they're both not going to be able to be the CrossFit Games. I don't think there's a world where they can be equal like that, but I think that they can be their own separate entities and both be successful.
I agree with what Kate said, actually, rare. But I think that I don't think
that's the sign of a good relationship when you disagree rarely.
No, I think that if they were to not coexist, it would be more because the athletes can't sustain it than because like the people don't get on board. Like eventually the people are going to get on board with watching their favorite athletes wherever they compete, right? Like that's the reality of it. If you love an athlete, you're not going to be like, not going to watch the games because that's where they're competing. You're going to want to see it. Like we all love watching certain athletes compete. And like, I assume a lot of the WFP haters were still watching it because they want to see Dallin and Jason and all these guys throw down. Yes. But I think it's going to come down to like, you know, the Boys Interrupted podcast talked about how tired they were going into this tour stop. And like the barbell sprint today was like, we don't want to see athletes that aren't peaked all the time. Like that's not fun to watch. Like, so it's going to come down to like whether I guess competitions can collab more. So there's less of them, or if it comes down to like athletes having to choose something like that. But I don't think athletes can sustain that many competitions.
Yeah, because I think the thought of more opportunities was very exciting for the athletes. You know, you go from a season where it's literally you have the open, you have whatever semis, regionals, whatever you want to call it this year, and then you have the games. And then after the games, then it's Rogue. Rogue is kind of like the next, like the sister to the games. That's like the bigger in the space. It's going to have a bigger payout. You've been sprinkling these little things like Wadapalooza and now the tier, like invitational kind of team thing that they're doing. So they have these little events and then if you know Crash and you want to go to Crash or you want to go to local competitions, that's more for fun. That's more for an exhibition and whatever. But when it comes to the competitive season, I think ideally at first it was like, oh shit, we're going to have so many more opportunities to work out or to work and to make a lot of money. But your body can only sustain that. And I think that was always the question from the beginning is it going to last? And we haven't even technically made it through the whole season with everything colliding. And they're already saying, I don't know if I can sustain this. I don't know if my body can physically sustain this. I don't know if mentally I can, because if you're, and I'm not an elite athlete, but if you're on that trajectory and you're sitting up here, not for a couple months, but like 12 months in a row, how can you sustain that? I don't think you can.
And I think Jason in that interview with Coffee Pods and Wads said that there is going to be a fourth tour stop, or there's going to be 3 tour stops and a final or something. So they're already adding another event. So I do think like semifinals this year was so different. Like poor Hannah Black competed at like 7 different semifinals to try to make it to the games too. So that was a little bit different. And I know not everyone did that, and she's a very specific example, but I don't think that helps, that if you didn't qualify for the games at one semi, you could pretty much go wherever. And so people were chasing that. I don't think that's sustainable. It will be interesting to see if like who signs up or who continues with WFP next year, knowing what like an entire season of doing both felt like this year. I do think some people, even if they don't have to choose, I foresee some people choosing to do one or the other.
And I think like if they are going to coexist, CrossFit will need to have a more like structured season, like in advance. Like people will need to know, like sooner than later, like how many semifinals there are, what the season looks like. And I've heard that they're trying to like make some structure that stays the same for 5 years. And WFP too, right? Like if they're adding another, like both of them need to be like, this is what the season looks like. And then athletes can kind of have a better idea of choosing what competitions they go to. Some of these athletes, like if they're going to do WFP and the games, they can't also do Rogue and Waza. Like that's going to be the reality of it. So like having both of them be a little more like set structure for a longer term might help athletes structure their season better. I don't know.
Okay, Mesa, you're probably going to hate this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Here we go.
No. WFP, you had this conversation already with Wooly, right? Like WFP was kind of born out of something where where it was born out of was people were pissed at HQ and pissed at what happened with Lazar and pissed at Dave, and they were pissed, right? And so some of the same things that are happening that they didn't like about CrossFit, they're complaining about WFP right now, and that's just. Yeah, it's an event. They're going to complain. People are always going to complain about everything. That's our job, is to complain about shit, right? If it's not easy for me to find it or get it or watch it or tape it or whatever, like I'm going to be pissed off. That's why I have DVR. That's why I have every subscription known to man. Is it that bad though, that people are complaining? Like, is it horrible that like, I don't feel bad about complaining about the things that that are like annoying about CrossFit. I don't feel bad about complaining about the things I think are annoying about the beginning part of the WFP. It's not that I hate it, or I hate like that the athletes are over there, or that I hate that I don't hate Will Morad. Like I don't, but I'm allowed to complain about some shit, right? Like, is that okay?
Yeah, I 100% think that's fine. And I think that people should be giving feedback, complaining. I think there's a disproportionate amount of complaining about the WFP than there is to CrossFit. And John Young actually went on a full like 20-minute rant about this in his episode.
I saw
and I agree. Like, I don't think that they should just be off the hook, whatever. But I do think people forget this is their second competition. And just because CrossFit exists doesn't mean they've run a competition like this before. And I think everyone expects them to get it right off the bat. And like, I just opened a gym 2.5 months ago, and I've worked in gyms for a decade. That doesn't mean I'm going to make mistakes.
So do I shit on him regularly too. He's a pain in my ass. Okay, sorry.
You're fine. I think like I can say till I'm blue in the face, like all these things I've learned at gyms, I'm never going to do that. But the reality is like they might happen when I'm in like running my gym, learning as I go. Hopefully over time I fix those things. But I think it's the same thing. Like they can have a goal, but I don't think like less than a year is realistic to be like they should have gotten everything right.
So is the thing that annoys you most that people are like, oh no, this shit's just gonna fail? Like is that what bothers you, bugs you the most? Is that people, the diehard CrossFit fans are like, this is a sideshow. It's even the word like what was it, like G League, like a G League for basketball,
UFL.
Yeah, like is that what really bothers you when people say that?
I would say, I mean, I don't know what bothers me the most. I'd have to think about that. I'm not like very bothered, to be honest. I enjoy that I get to go there and have the opportunity. I think it's interesting that like one of the most common things I hear is like people are upset about the financials of it. I think that's like kind of an absurd thing to be upset about, because like, in my opinion, people like ask us this a lot. Like, I don't really care. They have a lot of money. If it doesn't work financially, like that's on them. I'm going to ride the wave and get to be around elite athletes and watch them compete. And if it doesn't work, like that's not on me or on you. And no business I've ever like interacted with has shared their financials with me or where they got their money from before. So like, that's a weird Andrew Hiller with the UFL.
Yeah.
That's a weird take to me to be like, and me and Hiller actually talked about this. I was like, why does everyone care? Like, so what? I just think like if I'm, from my understanding, and I don't know everything, but from who I've talked to internally, like Will had this really good idea. He knew people who could fund it. Like, isn't that kind of the dream? Like you have this idea and you have a rich person who's like, here's the money to do it. Shit, I would do it and I wouldn't think twice.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Like, And everyone's like, how are they doing this? I'm like, someone has, like, the Gillettes have a lot of money. That's not a crazy concept. Like, if it financially
Are they
works,
the Gillettes that have like Gillette Stadium?
yes.
Like the razor company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and then they have,
look,
Adidas and Red Bull as sponsors.
the Patriots. Isn't the Gillette Stadium the Patriots? Jesus Christ. That's like Tom Brady and shit. What is happening right now?
Why is everyone so concerned? Maybe they don't need to make money anytime soon. Like, I don't. Cool.
No, it's just, and Matt Souza, yeah, I get this too. Everybody, we need transparency. Like,
I don't need financial transparency. I don't need to know who's funding the games.
Yeah. Why do we need to know where the money's coming from in order for
I'm not telling my members where I got the money to open my gym.
Well, because I think when the games happened last year and everything went down, the number one thing that everybody wanted to know was where did the money go and why wasn't there a better response team on the course?
Yeah, but that was because somebody died. Like, up front, nobody wanted to know that.
Yes. And so now that this happened and somebody died and WFP is doing a CrossFit competition, they want to know where the money is and where it goes and is medical on the field and how's the medical team and whatever. It all transfers from the year of the games.
I guess
it's all coming from.
When I think of transparency, I never think of it financially.
Yeah, no. I think that started last year.
But to me, I don't think I ever need to know any company's finances.
And I think for transparency with the games, I looked at it more as like, I wanted to know where the disconnect was, if there was one. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean like what happened to the money. It was like, was it due to budget cuts, which is why there weren't more people on the water, or whatever it is. Like, I don't need to know where the money's coming from. I just wanted to know like what happened, which we probably won't ever know that. But like, that is what I wanted in transparency, if that makes any sense. But I don't need like the nitty gritty, you know?
Yeah.
So is it more leading with, because I think both sides did, you know, when it came to the games, it was like, we're going to be transparent once the investigation and whatever. And again, we don't know legal stuff. He could have said that, but literally the lawyers could be like, you are not saying anything about anything. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I know there's this backlash and this anger around, well, they promised us transparency. That's great to say, but if the lawyers get involved, their hands are tied. There's nothing that we can do. And really the only people that need to know the transparency and the real truth about it is his family. That was really the only people. Yeah. If we get that information, 100%. We're just lucky to get the information, but none of us are entitled to that information. Only his family is, you know? So I think this idea of when the WFP started, it was, we're going to be transparent. We're going to just say what it is. It's not this, it's this. And then you do start to see things and you start to have your own opinion and question things like, oh, they said this, but they're doing this. It's like with anything. If I tell you one thing and then I do something else, people are going to kind of tilt their head and be like, wait, but you said this. So I think that there's a place for all of it. And so when it comes to transparency, kind of like what you guys are saying, like we all have different definitions of what transparency is.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, we want to know when it comes to the game, people wanted to know, well, where's all this money going? So then the ones that care about that are naturally going to turn around and be like, oh, they have so much money. And it might be, they have so much money. Why are they doing things this way? Why is the lighting this way? Why is equipment breaking? I mean, and you can go down the list, you know what I'm saying? So it really is like, what is your own personal definition of transparency and what do we actually want to hear?
And aren't you, and this might just be me, aren't you curious about billionaires and what they spend their money on? Like I am. Sorry, I'm nosy. I want to, you know what I mean? Like I want to know what I want to know what they do. Like I'm still waiting for the Epstein list to come out. That's not coming out, and I'm pissed. Like I'm still mad about that. So I don't know. I think there's a curiosity among a lot of people that they want to know. Oh, there's someone that came in that has a big bag and they're spending it on all this. And where's the big bag coming from? How much is the big bag that the athletes are getting? What is a big bag? Like, you know, like I don't think it's malicious. I just think it's just what we do when it comes to media, right? Any sport, any Teen Mom. I just finished watching Teen Mom. I still want to know what Farrah's doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh boy,
shut up.
I think the difference for me, and Mason and I were just actually talking about this on the phone earlier, because, you know, we listened to the Spins episode and they were talking about this a lot. And they always say, well, we give CrossFit a hard time too. Like, we're not only giving WFP a hard time. And that is true. But the way that the message is delivered when we're giving CrossFit a hard time versus WFP a hard time, I think is vastly different. It's like, let's call out CrossFit for what they're doing wrong. We're going to laugh about it and like point fingers for a second, and then we're going to move on and we're still going to support CrossFit. But for whatever reason, when WFP does something wrong, we hang on to it forever and ever and try to, it seems like, persuade people on why they should steer away from that. And I don't feel like when we talk about CrossFit, we treat it the same way.
How is it? What are your feelings on how it's vastly different? You don't, do you think there's just more people like shitting on WFP than is shitting on CrossFit, or?
No, I think the tone is different. To be honest.
Okay.
Like, I think the tone of shitting on CrossFit is like, oh, they messed up with that. Did you see it? And the tone of WFP is like, hey, don't like WFP because look how dumb they are and look how bad this is and this sucks and they can't do anything right.
Oh, okay. Okay. I feel like it's the same sort of bashing. I feel like because I feel like this whole thing with the GHD and the bike erg thing, or the whatever it was, will be it'll be over shortly. As soon as the next competition starts, that shit will be over. Like
I'm sure
it's a news cycle. That's what I feel like everything is happening right now. It's a news cycle. If it like you guys do, hot or not, if it's hot, it's going to get talked about on like 4 or 5 podcasts, and then it'll die out, and then we'll look to trash something else.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
don't disagree. Yeah.
For CrossFit or WFP, like we'll wait for the next thing.
I also think it depends on who you're listening to, because
100%.
Because certain people, do talk a lot of shit about both. Like in the same tone, in the same way. You know what I mean? Like, I give the example of what happened at the games about the pegboards, and how there was a huge uproar about the pegboards, and there were a lot of feelings, and and not everything has been released. And if it's behind the scenes, and not saying that people won't eventually talk about, what happened with Ricky's bikes and what happened with, they're kind of talking about Hatfield stuff, but they're kind of joking about it. But at the games, it was such a big problem, and people were so pissed off about it and talking about like it ruined their opportunity to win the games. And you know what I mean? But they're not having that same kind of reaction when it comes to the bike, even though like in one event, 2 bikes didn't work. You know what I mean? And there really hasn't been anything said. So it really depends on like who is talking about it, who wants to make it a big deal, and how they come across about it. Because I've heard a lot of people come down on CrossFit about like, what are we doing? What is going on? But is it more the difference between going after the games and going after CrossFit HQ? That's different than what you guys are saying, because I feel like going at HQ in one tone is very similar to what you guys are saying the tone is when with its WFP. So are you guys talking about like specifically the games?
It seems to me that when people talk about, we'll say pro CrossFit, and I'm both, but when people are diehard HQ pro CrossFit and they talk about WFP, it's, well, these people suck and it's never going to be sustainable. Talking about WFP, right? Like, they're never going to make it. They're never going to survive. On the flip side, like when people talk about the bad things that have happened in CrossFit, the pegboard thing, it's not like, oh, these people have no idea how to run a competition. CrossFit's like doomed, and I'm going to give them 2 years for them to stick this one out. Like, that's what I feel like the vibe is we're pushing WFP away, saying it's not sustainable. It's never going to happen because of these very similar events that maybe do happen in the games as well. Equipment malfunctions, we'll say. And we do talk about it when it comes to CrossFit, but it's like, oh, but it's the games and we're going to give them another chance next year. I don't know if that is making any sense.
No, it does. But I think, like, don't you think that if WFP goes on for another 9 years or something, and a bike breaks at a WFP event in 9 years, they'll be like, oh, fucking Will Morad fixed the bike and your shit sucks. It's 9 years, just whatever. And then we'll move on from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that some of that is like they're new, so they're getting hazed, and I get that. I also think like when CrossFit started, media like this didn't exist, so they couldn't like this would never happen, right? They had years of time to like fix these errors before there was media like this that could comment on everything so quickly. And now it's different. I just like, it's hard because it seems so negative. Like, I can't imagine being like, there's an event where, yes, there was things that went wrong, no doubt. But like a lot of my favorite athletes are competing. I'm there interviewing like I did over 50 athlete interviews with like really excited, really happy athletes. Like they were all having a good time. They were all, to me, like didn't have a single bad thing. Even Austin, I talked to him after the GHD, was like laughing in a good mood, like ready to go crush it. And then there's people like hoping that fails, but they're like, but we love CrossFit and we love the athletes. That's hard for me. I'm like, why would you want something that's paying athletes you love, that they're like enjoying it, the vibes are really good, and like there's so much, like we hope that fails. Like and on the other end of like,
but isn't that enough? Isn't it enough that you have the people there that are exactly those people that are excited to be there, that are vibing with you, that are showing up to support? And if the ones that don't like it or don't agree with it and our team CrossFit, like that's also okay.
Or is the hope they're like hoping they fail? Is that okay?
Well,
but WFP is also hoping, some people that support the WFP.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be okay with that either. I wouldn't be okay with someone who supports WFP being like, I hope CrossFit fails. Like, I wouldn't be okay with that.
I think that's the middle ground we're trying to get to.
Yeah.
Like, do we?
Because there are going to be people on both sides. There are people that are going to say, I hope that CrossFit doesn't survive methodology, HQ, and games. And then you're going to have the other side that says, I hope WFP doesn't survive. You're going to have negative people on both sides. But it's the people that show up. We say this all the time. We are fitness fans through and through. If there's a fitness competition down the street from my house, I'm going to that. I don't give a shit who puts it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's those people that really want to be around other people like that. Yep. But you're always going to have those one or two people that are going to be anti anything.
We don't do that here, Kenneth. That's not what we do here. We have conversations.
I don't have reason to be unhinged right now. Nobody's called me idiotic yet. So
go ahead.
But I think the problem right now is like the people on the extreme.
I don't want it.
Sorry, I don't think none of y'all have seen unhinged Colleen on a platform.
No, please.
So go ahead.
We can just come out at the same time. It'll be
no. That cannot happen ever. No.
I think the problem right now is like the people that are on opposite ends are the loudest, unfortunately. And I think a lot of people who are in the middle are not talking about it. And that, I think, is probably one of the reasons me and Kate were like, we can kind of like be in the space. We don't even agree on a lot of things, me and her internally. And we're just like, we don't have to hate each other. Like, we can just talk about it and it's okay. Like, there's like, me and Hiller had a very good conversation the other day for an hour. I disagree with 99% of the shit he does. And like, it was so fine. Like, we just chatted and I understood some of his side and he understood some of my side. And I was like, wow, like, imagine that. And I think more conversations like that would help. But I think that people in the middle just aren't really talking.
I think we're closer than we think we are.
Yeah, I do too.
I think with a lot of things, because I feel like that about Sebon. There are a lot of things that he says and I'm like, oh boy. But when you actually sit down and have a conversation with him, like, we agree more than we don't, you know, and he actually is a really cool person to talk to and have it. I'm not saying that he's necessarily going to change my mind on a lot of things, but being able to sit down and hear different perspectives, you can be like, okay, I can understand where that's coming from. Or it does change the narrative for me just a little bit. I'm not saying it completely wipes away all my beliefs, but it changes the narrative enough to where I can sit down and have conversation with someone that like, we just don't agree. But we can both shake hands, walk away from the table and not hope the worst for each other, you know? So,
okay, hold on. We're going to get into those in a second. Let me get PC right now. You've had a couple of ones that I've wanted to get in on.
Have you guys seen this pillow fighting? We watched it this morning too.
No.
It's a professional sport.
It is a professional sport on ESPN.
What do they wear?
Don't they wear this? What do they call the
like little
the
jump
singlets or
it's
whatever?
Like it's matching t-shirt and shorts. So like one dude was all
I'll find it.
One dude was all in orange, one dude was all in blue, and they were doing like karate moves with a pillow. It was hilarious. and they get paid for this and they're on ESPN. So I feel like if that can make it to ESPN,
we have a shot.
WFP and CrossFit will also at some point have a morning show on on ESPN News.
All right, you guys ready for this?
Yeah, here you go.
You ready for this?
Oh God.
Carvalho with the headshot. Holy cow, look at this.
Whoa. I was
Babe,
not expecting
you
it
got to
be
pause
this
a little bit,
aggressive.
babe. You got to pause.
Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay.
Yeah, no, because otherwise we'll get dinged for it.
Professional
that's
sport.
aggressive.
Oh yeah, they do like flips and they swing at each other. Oh my gosh, it came up on the TV and I was like, this is on ESPN, and we can't get CrossFit.
Meg, not for
on
the
ESPN.
entire games though. They only had snippets of. I mean, it was great.
Yeah,
believe me, that's how I found CrossFit was the snippets on ESPN for sure. Annie Thor's or whatever that was, crazy. Where Froning fell off the rope. That was the first one I ever saw.
Oh yeah.
So okay, let's get to some of the ones that were fun that I also think, because we've been on here for a hot minute. I don't want to keep you ladies too long. I really appreciate this, guys.
It's fun
for sure.
I love it.
Is there anything that you think that men as commentators can't say while commentating on women?
Yes.
Oof. Hot take. Here we go.
Let's go.
Mesa?
I think in general, not just men, but I think it's probably even more so for men. Like, you shouldn't be commenting on women's bodies unless it pertains to their performance in some way. And even then, like, we don't have to do that. There's ways to talk about it without commenting on their body.
See, because I feel like, and this is always my prime example, is the Chase thing that happened with Chase Ingram with the rower, where he commented that like she was bigger and longer, so she was going to have the faster row time. And
I think that's fair though. I mean, yeah, it's nuanced. And I will, as I say that, I definitely commented on Emma Lawson's body, like looking super muscular and lean and healthy when we were talking. And I think it's hard because it's like it's not so black and white, but I also think like have enough emotional intelligence to understand the line and stay on the right side of the line. That's hard. I think that in commentating, if we want to make it professional, like, you shouldn't be allowed to say swear words. I'm not even looking at what the chat says because I'm sure they're coming for me.
No, they're not. No, they're not at all, dude.
No. I think like swear words on a broadcast maybe should be eliminated if we're trying to be super professional. I think like there's a difference between
swear words on a broadcast or a podcast.
I was just saying there's a difference between broadcast and podcast.
Okay. I would be able to be a broadcaster. I swear too much.
Yeah, and I mean, in normal life, I do, but I think broadcast is like, I think there's a very big difference between broadcast and podcast, and like broadcast should have some directions of like, or like, you know, what's allowed for professionalism. You said men shouldn't be allowed to say. That's like so specific.
Because if I said the same thing, would you be okay with it, or would I get canceled? Like if I was like, oh, yo, I can imagine if she's like on her first day of her period, she's probably feeling like absolute garbage right now. Like if I said that,
you're right. You're very right. You're right. I mean, I think it would be like,
because
I think it would be like odd for you to say, but not offensive for you to say. Does that make sense?
Because I would say something like, yo, on my first day, I'm a crime scene. Like I'm a legit crime scene. Just put the yellow tape around me. So I can't even imagine how this girl's feeling right now. You know what I'm saying? Like but that's what we go through as women. And I just feel like it should be able to be talked about. If we don't talk about it, then it doesn't become.
Yeah, I guess in that situation, you're right. And I think it would be inappropriate for a man to say something about that.
And why do we do that? Like I wonder so much like what that was. Was it just like we weren't allowed to talk about our periods as kids? Or like you weren't supposed to tell your boyfriends that you hid your tampon when you went to high school? Like, is that why
I mean, I don't even think it's as kids. Like as an adult, it was in 2021. I worked for a personal training gym and it was owned by men. And I asked them, like, I think I've probably told Kate this story, but I asked them if we could have feminine products in the bathroom because female clients were asking. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, we need tampons in the bathroom. And he was like, oh, absolutely not. That's what purses are for. And like laughed at my face. And I was like, oh, like you've never gotten your period in the middle of a session and not knowing.
Oh, so
what
you
to do.
actually, okay, so it was an actual dude that wouldn't let women have feminine products in a women's bathroom.
Yeah, like I literally was like, hey, I work here. Women are asking to have tampons in the bathroom. We need to stock the bathroom. And he was like, hell no, that's why people bring a purse. So like that's not even as kids, that's happening now. Like if men are like that now, you know that's happening now.
So then I'd say then that's why we even need to talk about it more.
I was gonna say, how are we supposed? Because I don't.
How do we expect them to
any
understand if we don't
gym,
talk to them?
Like
you know what I'm
any
saying?
gym that I've gone to, none of them have
Yeah.
tampons
Mine does. Come to
available.
mine.
Oh, there you go. And honestly, for me, it's like I'm not
Joseph knows.
expecting that they're gonna be there. And that's just me. Like I just always make sure that I have them. But you do have those days where it's like, oh shit, it is
my
a
God.
day
Either one.
late.
Those are
It
both
is or a
horrible.
day early or something like that. Yeah, the cardboard ones
That is horrible.
are awful.
How do you have a
awful.
what are you talking?
Susan said I said nothing, and that's like his favorite thing to say. So if there's something specific you would like me to answer, please ask, because I don't know.
Which one?
Which one?
Which one?
Susan said I said no. She said nothing. That's
no. He was talking to PC.
Yeah, they're not, no. This chat's moving now. This chat is moving.
But Susan did have a where was it?
I missed it.
This one. Who's allowed or what's allowed and who decides. And I think that that's a really good point or whatever, because what's allowed and who decides? Do we decide what's enough? Because we also as women want to be understood more.
It's still a good point.
We can't be understood or we can't
I
talk
would
about
say
it.
that like maybe if you have male commentators, there should be like either like a female broadcaster or athlete or some representative that's helping put guidelines on that, because like I don't know what, like how else can, again, like yeah, you're right, I can say this shouldn't be said or that shouldn't be said, but like who decides? That's a great question. I don't know that I have the answer for that.
It's a hard conversation because men will get they'll get canceled, or they'll try to cancel them for saying anything, and they might not mean it like that, dude. Like they might not be talking about it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like it just, it's hard for me because I can talk about a dude walking upside down in a handstand walk, and I can see his package while he's walking because of the way the camera's looking, and
which
no one's
is always in front of him.
It's literally always on the screen.
Where they go. And I'm like, guys, there's so many other angles we could do right now with these men upside down, and that's all you see on national television.
And I could also comment on how big it is, and there still will not be dudes that are coming to cancel me for saying that.
But that is something I feel like shouldn't be on a broadcast.
I'm talking about like a podcast, or I'm not talking. No, I would never say like, I would never be like Chase. If Chase was like, yo, this dude's upside down, his dick is showing. Like, no, that's not appropriate. Like, that's not appropriate for a broadcast. No.
I don't know how far I want to get into this.
But there's a clear difference between what men can say and what women can say when talking about women.
But isn't that like, I mean, indicative of the fact that like, do I want to go there?
Go for it, girl.
It's up to you.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Like, in general, women are victims of those things in life more often than men. So that's going to translate to what women and men can say. Like, there is a double standard because, like, men don't have to fear when they walk to their car at night. Like, men don't have to worry about those things. So, like, the line is different, and people can be mad about that. That's the reality. Like, it is different being a woman than it is being a man. And like the threat is different. All of those, like the lines are different. And I think until that's like equal in society, it can't be equal.
She's not unhinged. She's having a conversation. She's not unhinged.
They have not seen Unhinged if they think this is unhinged.
But we're talking about adults, right? Because as far as like kids, if you want to talk about between boys and girls as kids, like it's basically the same.
Yep.
Like you can go into the Boy Scouts, you can go into the church, boys, and then girls are the same. If you want to talk about it as adults, no, I don't feel like boys have to worry about like, do they have their car keys in their knuckles? Do they have mace? Do they have no, I don't think that that's necessarily a concern for them until they get a wife or have kids. Because once they have something that they need to protect, then they start thinking about protection. I mean, fuck, they don't even protect themselves. They're 18, 19 years old, jumping out of cars, riding skateboards behind trucks, jumping out of trees, jumping off roofs. Like they don't fucking think about that. Like that's not their goal. And so yeah, like are we on the low totem pole of like predator status? Sure. But I don't think that needs to go out to every single dude that says something. You know
For
what I mean?
sure, and I think there's, like, a line where people are overly sensitive unnecessarily. Like, I'm not saying that men can never say anything, like the rowing comment, I don't think that's that bad. Again, like, I don't think it's black and white. I think that's the hard part, like, there's no hard lines. I can't say, like, "Say this, don't say this." I think some of it comes down to, like, just, like I said, having enough emotional intelligence to understand, like, what crosses a line and what doesn't.
Yeah, I just feel like
I think that depends
it
on the
depends on
person.
because
I think it's
Colleen thinks shit is unfunny when I think shit's hilarious.
very unfunny.
And she'll look at me and just
But
be
then
like,
there are certain things that
whatever.
I'll say to her and she's like, "Oh, but you find this
This
funny?" But I think it depends on the person too, because I can agree that there is a difference in targeting between men and women to a point, but I don't believe that men are not targets as well. I think if someone wants to hurt someone, whether it's a man or a woman, I think they're gonna hurt somebody no matter what. And so, and I think that there is this conversation of where women do talk about it more, even though we don't talk about it that much, more than men would, because it's admitting that something happened to them, which men don't want to do. So I think that there is both. I think that if someone wants to target somebody, they can target them, whether they're walking down the street, they're walking to their car, they're experiencing that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the things that people say, I think that, and one of the things that, Sevon actually helped me kind of process, do I still think that there are some words that are meant to be used as weapons? Yeah, I can agree with that. But we give so much power to words as people, and we've also been taught that words have so much power. And so for me, when I stopped allowing words to have that much power over me, it almost gave me more freedom, where I'm like, okay, somebody can say something to me. They can make comments about my body. They can, make inappropriate comments to me at the gym, but I don't hold any power, or they don't hold any power with me. I'm just like, okay, that one is an asshole, and I keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? So I think that it really depends on the person, how you receive the way that other people say things.
For sure, but just because it doesn't bother you doesn't mean it's okay that they said it.
Because you feel a certain type of way, and it's where you're at. But like,
yeah, but I don't.
Would you get offended
but
for me though?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like,
if somebody called me a dyke, would you get offended for me, even though I could care less?
I think it just that's such a tough question.
I said the word. I'm sorry. You're on the show. I should have said the D word.
Oh, you're so fine. No, I don't care. You can say whatever you want.
The D word is so many D's. Like, I don't even know what.
So I never even knew about the Chase thing. So people are saying that I signed some petition. I did not.
No, she did not. She was, I'm explaining something that happened a while back, and she was not a part of it, guys.
I think here's the thing. More than anything, like, I don't really believe in cancel culture. I think that's a mistake. So I'll agree with you on that. I think it's just being like the ability of, like, if you say something that you don't like, if I were to say something that offended someone and it wasn't my intention, but someone brought it up to me in a pretty rational way and was like, hey, like, that probably shouldn't have been said. Here's my reasons why. I think, like, my reaction to that is what's most important.
Sorry, Kate, are you okay? Are you good? Sorry.
Pipe in. Cut me off, please. I think just people being willing to understand that, like, even though it might not be offensive to them, you have to be aware of different audiences and be willing to hear some, like, why it might be offensive to someone. And that's not, like, some of it is like, cool, you're offended by that. I don't agree. I'm still going to say it, and that's fine. But I think, like, you have to be open to hearing, and, like, there's things I've said that I'm like, I probably shouldn't have said that, and I need to rewire the way I think, and that's new to me. And, like, I wouldn't have seen that side. And I think being open to that is, like, important.
Yeah. And I think that, going back to, me not being upset because of something that somebody said, I also don't feel like I need to tell them that what
Shut
they
up,
said
Patrick
was
Clark.
wrong.
You are killing me tonight, dude. Patrick, Bare Naked Ladies is the best, dude. And I voted for Bare Naked Ladies. All right. So calm down.
Like, so are you saying that are you saying that it's our job to correct people when you feel like something that they said is offensive, mean, or whatever?
Kate, do you want to pipe in at any time?
I was trying to understand the question. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's like I'm not giving permission for people to say shitty things.
Clock
If
has
people
it.
are gonna say people are gonna say shitty things, they're gonna say shitty things. And I have to make the decision. If someone says something shitty to me, I have to make the decision whether or not I want to spend the time and energy to correct them, than them just knowing, listen, what you said was pretty shitty. So my question is, like, do you guys feel like it's important to take that time to correct that person and tell them what they said was shitty?
I think it just depends on the situation. And, you know, I don't have that experience a lot. So if somebody says something to me, it depends who it comes from, right? If it's like somebody close to me, I'd be like, that was not cool. But if it's like a stranger on the internet, or, you know, somebody that is just an acquaintance or I don't really know, I'm gonna like keep moving and not really think anything of it. Is that going to give me a perception of who you are after that interaction? And maybe like, I don't fuck with you anymore after that? Possibly, but I'm not gonna like lose sleep over it.
Yeah.
Clock's right. Let's end it with this. I'm offended. No one should give a fuck. You pushing back on me. I get it. No, if somebody else is offended by something that is said, I completely respect that. And I do my best not to do it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think, again, I'll always fight for comedians because they're just fucking funny, so they can say whatever they want to say. But like, you know, I do my best not to, but just because I'm not offended by some shit, like, I get it.
I like people who know their audience, you know, and that could mean a lot of things. And I think there's probably conversations like you have with your friends that you talk a little bit differently than you would if you're at your job or your place of work. And I think knowing your audience says a lot about who you are. And if you're unaware of that, that's kind of where I start to look at you to be like, oh, like, no, maybe not some social awareness, because we all talk differently than when we're online. I'm sure if you're with friends and family, and
for sure.
You just have to know your audience.
Like the Tony Hinchcliffe freaking joke at when he was talking about Puerto Rico, I was like, oh, bro, that was probably not the greatest decision you've ever made in your entire life, but that's fine.
What's his name? Joe Coy. He's hilarious.
Joe Coy is hilarious.
I think also, like, just to add to that, so I grew up overseas. I'm half Arab. I grew up in Dubai my entire life. My dad's Lebanese, and I now live in Charleston, South Carolina. So like worlds apart, right?
Yeah.
And so like I think when you like, obviously we're talking about fitness, which is like a very different situation. But there's a lot of comments that are made to me that I do feel like people don't know much about the Middle East or what's going on or what might be happening to my family, that I'm like, I do kind of feel a responsibility if you say something where you just like clearly don't, not you, the general public.
No, it's
okay. That like you don't understand what's going on, and like maybe it didn't come from a bad place, but like you don't have a good enough idea, or like haven't been, like you don't have skin in the game, that like it kind of is on me as the person who's grown up there, who has skin in the game, who has family, to educate you. And then if you want to still continue to make the shitty comment, that's fine. But you like, if I don't tell you, no one's going to tell you, because I'm like the person that is educated on that. So there's certain scenarios where I'm like, I do feel like it's my responsibility because of like my culture and my family, like respect to that like I want you to understand what you're saying and what it might mean, because you don't understand what that means. So like when it's about fitness, like, yes, the stakes are much lower. Like it's not politics, but I think there's like you said, know your audience, time and place. I would hope that the people like Kate or like my close friends or people in my life, there's things I want them to understand and know that matter to me, and like so they can then make informed decisions.
But yeah, no, that absolutely makes sense, because we don't know what's happening, and what the majority of us that grow up until we get older, like, you know, when I got into my 30s and even just in my like 40s now, like I'm learning more about what's happening in the Middle East. Like I didn't know shit about Israel and Palestine until this shit happened. And then it's all I could consume, both sides of the story, to find out what the hell is going on, because I didn't know. Even Russia and Ukraine, what is that? Russia used to own parts of Ukraine. I didn't know that shit. Like, I had to look it up, because we don't, as an 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, you don't give a shit. Right now, you're just trying to get a wife and, like, go to a party. It's cultural differences for sure. I mean, the most I knew about culture is I went to Brazil as a kid, so that was pretty much it. And I just knew that the United States had way more than Brazil had at the time. That's all I knew. Like, so no, I totally get that. Girls, this was so fun.
Thanks for coming on and hanging out with us.
I hope you had fun. I really do hope you had fun. Because awesome. There, especially I would love to talk more about, like, the girl stuff. You know what I mean? Like, we've had Shelby Neal on. She's talked with us a lot, extensively, about how her period affects her training and stuff like that, and just hormones and and we love that stuff. And there's just not, like, I'm gonna bring a dude on and talk about it. Like, that's
so next you come on our show and it's entirely girl talk.
Okay, yeah, I'm down for, like, let us know. I'm super cool with it. I love it. I
period,
really
hot or not.
Period, hot or not. Oh yeah. Period, hot or not. Cramps, first day, second day. Like,
fuck, as you age,
when do they come in?
Much
like,
it changes all the fucking time, no matter what.
Yeah, that'll be that. Yeah, anytime you guys want anything, you guys need from us, Mesa, get with the boys, go on head to head. That would be so fire. Do all
you versus Souza.
Do all the gymnastic shit. Yeah, you versus Souza.
You versus Souza.
Are we allowed to say who I think I'm gonna go against, Kate?
No, don't do it.
No, I don't know. I don't think
I don't want to mess with the boys.
Okay.
I don't know if they've
shared. He's like,
it's not Souza. Sorry to do
Oh, Joseph, good. I'm glad you had fun, brother.
Yeah.
This was great, guys. This was good.
For Mesa? Guess for Mesa. It's gotta whoever it is, she has to be someone that's kind of like, they're gonna be the same kind of. I know it's not Claire because she's gone for a while.
I was gonna say Heidi.
Claire is the reigning champ, so I think Claire is gonna go on again, I think is what they said.
Yeah, she's gonna go on again. She's the reigning champ, but they might do this one and then do whoever wins this one versus Claire. Like, that'd be fun.
Like traveling for a few weeks now.
Yeah, I think she's gone for a little bit.
Yeah.
Is it Heidi? That'd be hilarious. I would love that.
There she is.
Oh, Claire.
What's up, Claire girl?
What's up, girl?
We love you, Basie.
Mesa versus Savon. This has been, like, requested many times, and I'm down if anyone wants to make this happen.
You guys can try to get Sev. He is not gonna do this shit. I like you might. Oh, Mesa versus Wooly. Mesa versus Wooly. Is it Wooly? Oh,
put some money on it. If you put some money on it, Sevon will do that.
Yo, I'll put Wooly on Mesa, like Wooly versus Mesa. I'll put money on that. I'll back up. What is it? $100? Like, I'll throw into that shit.
Wooly, are you out there? Wait, are you betting on me? Because that's the only thing that's allowed.
No, it's gonna it'll go to the winner. But yeah, I'm betting on you. Yeah,
love this.
Just give me some gymnastics and I'll be good.
Like, let's go.
Do handstand push-ups versus Wooly.
We should make this happen. I love it.
Oh my God.
That would be funny.
Oh, and on the show, whatever show that we do again, we need to talk about the weird things that happen to women during handstand push-ups, because that's weird. And bet you men don't understand that one.
Especially after you have a baby. My body's never been the same.
Mesa versus Grant, ring muscle ups. Ring muscle
ups. Can
up.
Grant do muscle ups?
That's his favorite thing, I think, right now. Or is it bar muscle ups? I don't know. Something.
Burpee box jump overs. I feel like he doesn't ever shut up about burpee box jump overs.
Olivia, I haven't worn a real bra since having a child. They don't fit anymore. They don't fit no more.
All right, guys.
Yeah, my dog's
ladies, hang out with us for a second, please. But everybody else, thank you so much. Clydesdale, again, thank you for becoming a member. That was really awesome.
Thank you to all of our members.
Yeah.
I think we had a couple that joined us. So thank you guys for doing that. Always appreciate your support. Tomorrow,
we are on the Sevon podcast tomorrow with Dense updates and a special guest. So if you want to see,
you better go show up over there to see who it is.
Not even gonna
And then not this week, but the following Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, I have 3
vagina talks.
Guests coming on to the V Talk. I have Sarah Beth's going to come on and talk with me about childbirth. Mary, Teresa Tringale, you guys have heard little stories about her. She's the woman that definitely changed my life and helped me be the person I am today.
Mesa and Dents behind a paywall.
Oh shit!
We would make so much fucking money for that.
I will black out before I will lose. I will black out.
I would split it with y'all if you wanted to
People
do
want Unhinged Mesa. Make this happen for sure.
My for that.
CrossFat, you the man. Way to bring it. Jan, Jake, make this happen. It's behind the paywall though, y'all. Like y'all gotta pay for this one.
Yep.
Dude, I bet people would pay for that.
Dude, they would.
I would pay for. I'll pay my own channel for that.
Hold my head to the wall before I'll lose that one.
They would. They would.
All right, everybody.
All right.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Bye,
Deuces.
guys.
Bye, guys.